We're moving into a lunge with a twist. You'll need one weight, something you can hold up with your shoulders. So arms are going to be straight out, shoulder height, picking one leg to work for 30 seconds. You're taking a step back, hold in the down position, rotate over the front leg, drive through the heel, squeezing the glute at the top. So again, 30 seconds each side. I want you to take your time, make sure you're balanced, using your core to rotate and back. Shoulders are relaxed down, away from your ears. All right, time's up on that side. Relax, arms out, switch legs. Rotating over the front leg, back to center, squeezing the glute at the top. Keeping the chest up tall. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and relax and release. We're moving into a single leg deadlift with a knee raise. Feet start out about hip distance apart, locking your arms to your sides, chest is pressed. Picking one leg to stay on the ground, you're letting the other leg fall back, hinging at the hips. So reaching that leg back, building tension in the back of the leg. Keeping the back flat, the chest pressed at the ending point, coming up, driving that knee through at the top. We're going to go 30 seconds each side. So this motion, overall you want to move slower, challenging the stabilizers in your body stability. Keeping those shoulders down and back. When you drive that knee through, I want you to squeeze the glute of the supporting leg. All right, time's up. Other leg, reset, 30 seconds. As you hinge at the hips, reaching down with the chest, leg goes back. As you come forward, knee drive through, squeezing the glute of the supporting leg. You can think about the motion, building tension in the back of the leg, then driving through, squeezing the glute. All right, time's up. Gotta relax and release. We're moving on to a wood chopper. This is a great exercise for your core, your upper body stability, and your shoulders. You're gonna place your feet about shoulder width apart, grabbing either side of your weight, starting off to one hip. You wanna lock the arms out, set the shoulders away from the ears. You're going diagonally from the bottom to the opposite top corner, pivoting on the foot, and then slowly release back down. So using your core to rotate up, keeping the arms straight, nice and controlled. So we're gonna go 30 seconds each side. So a little bit faster on the way up, pivot, hold the core tight, belly button in, and nice and controlled on the release back down. Keeping that chest facing forward, nice and tall. Awesome, time's up. So other side, up and across, pivot, and slowly release. Again, arms are straight. Keep your belly button drawn in. Really think about tightening up that core, using it to rotate. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and relax. We're moving into a squat to press. So you're gonna need 2 weights, placing your feet shoulder width apart. Stack the weights over top of your shoulders. Make sure they're just hovering and not resting on your shoulders. Keeping those knees driven out, reaching back on the hips and the heels, knees over ankles. Drive through the heels, standing up at the top, re-soften the knees, press the weights up overhead. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. So driving through those heels, up at the top, squeeze your glutes, reset, then press. Super important that I keep my belly button drawn in, protecting my back, not overarching it as I press overhead. I want you to think about having the weight in the heels, more on the outsides of the feet as you squat down, driving up, reset. Awesome. Time's up. Go ahead and relax. We're moving into a single leg calf raise. Placing one foot on the ground, the other one's just going to be toe tapped out in front, using it strictly as support for balance. Micro squat down, pushing up to the ball of the foot, and then releasing back down, flat foot. We're going to go 30 seconds each side. Try to keep as much weight as you can on the working leg, but that front leg is just tapped there if you need it. All right, we're going to switch sides. Place the other foot down, toe tapped, driving up to the ball of the foot, and then release. Really focus on, again, slow, controlled movements, pushing up, gain balance, then release back down. Chest stays up, slight tension between the shoulder blades, belly button should still be drawn in. All right, nice work. Time's up. Go ahead and relax and release. We're moving into band figure eights. You're going to place the band on your wrists, feet a comfortable distance, set position. So knees bent, belly button in, tailbone tucked. You're going to open it up so you have resistance on the band, and from here, simply keeping the palms facing each other, thumbs up, you're going to draw figure eights. We're going to go for 30 seconds. Try your best to keep that same distance on the band. So you should feel the front of your shoulders from lifting up, the outsides of your shoulders from pressing out against the band. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and relax and release. We're moving back into the lunge with a twist. We're going to go 45 seconds each side. So arms out, shoulders down, pick a leg, rotate over the front leg, and back up. Watch that lead knee stays over the ankle. Driving through that front heel to stand back up at the top. Again, if the weight's a little bit too heavy, just bend at the elbows. All right, switch sides. Reminder, belly button stays pulled into the spine. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and relax and release. We're moving back into a single leg deadlift to a knee raise. One side to start, lock the shoulders down. We're gonna go 60 seconds a side. Hinging, chest to the ground, drive the knee through, squeeze the glute. Again, overall moving at a more slow, controlled pace, challenging your balance and the stabilizing muscles. So you should feel tension build in the back of the leg and then throughout the glute as you drive that knee and squeeze the glute at the top. Don't worry about going down super far, just enough so that back stays flat, you feel tension in the leg, and then drive through. If at any point you need a second, just place that leg that's up on the ground, gain your balance, rest, and then keep going. All right, nice work. Time's up. Switch sides, 60 seconds. Good, lock those shoulders down and back. Arms are straight. Think about like you're reaching for something that's just in front of your toes. Belly button's drawn in. Core should be tight to help with balance. All right, you are done. Go ahead and release and relax. We're going back into the wood chopper. Feet shoulder width apart, holding either side off to one angle. We're gonna do 60 seconds each side. Up and across, pivot, controlled on the release. Again, use your core to rotate, belly button drawn in, keeping the arms straight. On your way back down, really make sure you're pulling the shoulders down, away from the ears. Awesome, time's up. We're gonna go the other way, reset, across pivot, and release. Again, 60 seconds. If you need a second, just roll the shoulders down and back, and then right back into it. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and relax. We're going back into the squat to press. Weight stacked, feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna go for 60 seconds. Squat down, come up, reset, and press. Core engaged, belly button in. Remember to push those knees out, keeping them over top of the ankles the entire time. Nice work, time's up, go ahead and relax. We're going back into the single leg calf raise. One leg to start, other one's placed out for support, 60 seconds. If you can, pause when you're up, slowly release, back down, keeping full control the entire time. Awesome. Okay, time's up. Go ahead and switch sides. 60 seconds. Good, just a reminder of that core, belly button's drawn into the spine. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and relax and release. We're going back into band figure eights. So placing that band right on your wrists, holding tension, set the shoulders down. We're gonna go for 60 seconds. So making that figure eight shape, keeping your thumbs up position. Again, a nice controlled motion the whole time. If you need a break at all, just reduce the tension on the band. Feeling the fronts of your shoulders from lifting and the outsides of your shoulders from pressing against the band. Reminder though to keep the shoulders relaxed down, so you don't want to let them come up, pull them down away from the ears. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and release and relax. We're moving into donkey kicks with a band. So be grabbing your mini band, placing it around the arches of your feet. You're going to flip over, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Flexing your toes towards your shins. You're going to drive one heel up, keeping the leg bent, creating resistance on the band, and then slowly releasing back down. We're going to do 30 seconds each side. As you draw up, making sure your belly button is drawn in, you're trying your best to stay stable in your body. Focus on squeezing the glute as you lift through that heel and with control on the way back down. Awesome, time's up on that side, so we're going to switch. Driving the heel up, squeeze the glute, and controlled on the way back down. Again, don't forget belly button drawn in, pushing between the shoulder blades slightly, keeping that nice, strong, supported stance. Awesome, okay, time's up. Go ahead and remove the band and sit back comfortably. We're moving into a dynamic glute bridge. You're going to take your mini band just above your knees, making sure it is just above them and not on your knees. Taking a lie back on your mat. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. Upper body's relaxed, taking your knees, pushing them out so there's tension on the band. You're going to drive through your heels, pushing your hips up, squeezing your glutes at the top with a pause, and then slowly release back down. We're going to repeat this motion for 30 seconds. Making sure that your knees stay pushed out. You never want them to come together, so there's always tension on the band. Pausing at the top, squeezing your glutes before you release back down. So you might be feeling this in the sides of the legs, but it should be the outside of the glutes, and then your glutes themselves, a little bit into the hamstrings as well. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and sit up, take off the band, and relax. We're moving into clamshells with a band. So taking that mini band, you're going to place it just above the knees. Lying onto your side. So you want your heels, your butt, and your head in line. So that means the knees are cut in at a 45 degree, supporting your head on your arm. Feet are stacked, arm is relaxed in front for support. You're going to open, squeeze the side of the glute, and release for 30 seconds. I want you to watch when you're pulling up that you're not rolling off the hip, staying onto that hip, just focusing on opening with the glute. It doesn't need to be a big range of motion, just enough to feel the side engaged, and then release. All right, time's up. Go ahead and switch. So again, knees cut in at a 45, heels, butt, head are in line, supporting, open with the squeeze, and then release. Staying right on that hip, not rolling backward. Again, try to pause for a second at the top before you release back down. All right, time's up. Gonna relax, remove the band, and release back on your mat. We're moving into plank leg lifts. You're gonna be coming onto your forearms, elbows underneath the shoulders, balls of the feet, tucking the hips down, belly button in. Lifting with a straight leg, engaging the glute, and returning back down, alternating sides for 30 seconds. You don't need to lift the leg up very far, so never so much that your back would be arching. Keep that back neutral, tailbone tucked, just a little lift with a squeeze. All right, time's up. Gotta release and relax. We're moving back into donkey kicks with the band. So again, placing your mini band around the arches of your feet, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're gonna go 45 seconds each side. Remember, squeezing the glute at the top, controlled on the release, back down. Keeping your toes flexed to your shin and a bend in the knee. All right, time's up on that side. Go ahead and switch. Again, belly button drawn in, slight pressure pushing in between the shoulder blades. Good, so you should be feeling this in your hamstring and your glute. All right, time's up. Go ahead and relax. Remove the band and release. We're going back into the dynamic glute bridge. Taking your mini band, placing it just above the knees. Taking a lie back on your mat, feet hip distance apart. Driving the knees out. We're gonna go up and down for 1 minute. Driving through the heels, squeeze the glutes, pause, and then release. Always keeping pressure pushed out against the band. Try to just relax your upper body. Making sure your focus is pushing the heels into the ground as you raise your hips up. All right, time's up. So go ahead and take off the band and relax. We're going back into clamshells with the band. So mini band is placed just above the knees, coming onto your side, feet stacked, knees cut in at the 45, head is supported. We're gonna go 60 seconds aside. So squeezing with the pause at the top before you release. Staying right on that hip, not rotating at all. Again, it doesn't need to be a big range of motion. especially if you have a firmer mini band. Just even a small lift with a squeeze will do the trick. Just moving at your own pace. If at any point it's a little bit too challenging, simply take a second and then resume when you're ready. All right, time's up. Go to switch sides. Stacking the feet, supporting the head, knees cut in, 60 seconds. Really try to think about the muscle that we're working, so right on the outside of that glute of the top leg. All right, time's up. Good, and relax. Releasing the mini band and release back on your mat. We're moving back into plank leg lifts. Planking on your forearms, elbows under the shoulders, balls of the feet, tuck those hips down, alternating for 60 seconds. Lifting with a straight leg, squeezing your glute, and then returning. Watching that your range of motion isn't so big that your back is arching, just a little lift, squeeze the glute, and return. Belly button stays drawn into the spine, core is engaged. Option on this one, you can drop to your knees, so lifting the leg, and then alternating sides. Even if you're on your knees, watch that your hips aren't up, tucking them down as you go. All right, time's up. Gotta release and relax.